Good morning, students. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು good morning, students. Today we'll cover the data types that are available in XML documents. The user-defined schema documents are two types, that is simple and complex. Simple data type are data types whose content is restricted to strings only, and they do not have any attributes or includes any other nested elements. Complex, a little bit larger one that can have attributes and also include other data types as child elements. We can have user defined data types that are defined by specifying restrictions on an existing type. Then existing type will be the base type for user defined type. For example, I can create an element of string type with some restrictions. Then the string will be the base type for the user defined data type. XML schema defines 44 different data types. In that, primitive data types are 19 and remaining are derived data types. Here is the list of primitive data types and derived data types are given. Just go through this. And if you want to provide any constraints or restriction for derived data types, they are called as facets, and facets of the base term. For example, if I am creating an user defined data type based on string data type with some restrictions. For example, if I want to provide a name containing only 40 letters or 50 letters, then facet will be the restriction up to 40 letters or 50 letters, then that will be known as here is facet of the base type. For example, integer primitive data type has 8 possible facets, that is total digits, maximum inclusive, maximum exclusive, etc. So list is given. By using these facets, we can create our own derived data type. And also, if you are declaring such type of data types, they can be local or global. If the declaration is appeared only inside an element, then it will be local element and it is available only within that element. If the declaration provided is in the global scope or in a separate file and it is linked with our XML document, then it will be appear in all the entire scope of the global document. So here is global elements are visible in the whole schema in which they are declared. So now how the simple types are defined. So simple types are defined in XML schema with element tag, and also the type of the base element is to be specified. So for example, here is engine is the user defined simple type and it is defined by using the element, the tag element. Schema defined is in XSD. This is the prefix, that means how the element is declared, that is specified by the namespace prefix, and type of the tag is here is, that is base type, that is string. So even though I am telling just string, but while specifying it, we have to provide the proper prefix. Which namespace are we are importing in our document, so that namespace prefix must be utilized. So it need not be XSD always, it may be any prefix you have declared within the XML namespace declaration. So when I create an element like this, right? So for example, it is I have declared one element, that is engine. Then now in XML document I can use the engine tag like this. as this is string element, so this will be the string. Instead of this, if I provided any different type of information, then during the XML validation I will get the error message. We can also provide default value for a element. Here is the same one that is specified in the previous slide, but here is default value specified. So if the element does not have any value, then this will be considered as the default value. Similarly, if the element's value must be fixed, that's a constant value, then I can have the such effect by using the attribute fixed. So for default it is default attribute, and for constant values that is fixed attributes. And if we are providing the facets or restrictions, in the previous one there is no restriction, but here I am specifying the restriction. In such case, by including the facet inside restriction element, we can declare it. For example, here is first name is the element. Observe this. First name is the element, and the base type is specified for restriction element like this. So here is base equals XSD string, that is string type, and in that max length value equals 10. That means first name is string type, base here is specified, and the maximum character allowed to enter for first name here is only 10 characters. Maximum length here is 10. Likewise, here for the phone number, observe here is this is simple type. Here the simple type tag element is used. Name is phone number. Restriction is based on XSD decimal, that is decimal type. But here is maximum length is 10, minimum length is 6. That means the phone number must and should have numbers, that is digits, from 6 to 10. So if I enter any phone number of 5 digit, I will get a wrong information. If the phone number crosses 10 numbers characters, then also I will get the warnings. So this is the restriction specification by using facet. So to use the facet max length and minimum length, it should be included within the restriction element, and in the restriction we have to specify the base. So this is for declaring simple types, and go for the complex types. The complex types are declared, that is defined within the complex tag, and also the child elements types also specified here is. Observe here is elements that are content of element only element must be contained in order group, unordered group, a choice or name group. So I will go for order group here is. If I want to specify the complex type with an ordered group of child elements, then I have to use the element here is sequence. So for example, sports car is a complex type element that can have child elements. So to specify the child elements, I will use sequence element, which indicates that whatever the element here are specified within these two pair of tags, it must be an ordered group. So there are 4 child elements for sports car. One is make, next one is model, next one is engine, and year. The important point here is this is an order group of elements. These 4 must be exist in the sports car element, and also in the same order it should be provided in the XML document. So we should not alter this order. So first you give the child element make, give the value, next model, then engine, then year. So this is the way of creating complex type. So complex type can also have defined one. So unordered group is defined by using all element. So unordered group is defined by using all element. So for example, here is order group is provided in sequence, and Unordered group is provided by using all. And groups can have minimum occurs, maximum occurs to specify number of occurrences. So the element may appear more than once. Values for minimum occurs here is non-negative number, that is including 0, but you should not give any negative values. And possible values for maximum occurs are non-negative numbers, that is any number, any positive number plus value unbounded, that means no such limit. Minimum occurs here is if I give 2 value, then it shouldn't provide, it should provide minimum occurs, that means it must occurs minimum twice. Maximum occurs if I give 5, then it should not cross the 5 occurrences. But if I provided unbounded, there is no limit for the occurrences of the child elements. So here is the example. Observe that this is the complete example for one XSD. The XSD is schema, that is XSD prefix is explained here is XSD. Target namespace is provided and default namespace is given here is. If prefix is not provided, then it will be taken from the global default namespace is provided by providing here is qualified, and root element here name here is planes, and here is planes is a complex type, planes is a complex type, and here is all, I am giving it is all, and child element here is make. It is based on string. Minimum occurs is 1, maximum occurs is unbounded, that means there is no limit for maximum occurrence, but minimum occurrence is 1. At least one value must be there, that is one child element. And if you want to give more number, you are not restricted to those number, even it may be 100, even thousands also it is supported. Here let's go back. So this is the planes.xsd schema definition for the file, that is planes.xsd. So this is the definition, and here is XML file, planes.xml file, and the schema here is XML namespace provided and XSI is explained, and schema location is provided, that is planes.xsd. And observe that make appear thrice in this element XML document. So make is declared within the all document, sorry, all tag in the definition. See in the previous one, make is the child element of planes and it is all, that means occurrences is unordered and maximum occurrence is unbounded. So that means here is it can appear any number of times. Deriving data type is the one of the greatest feature of the XML schema data type definitions. If I declare one type, I can derive it or I can utilize it in another type. For example, here is year. Observe that here is a simple type. It is based on the restriction base type decimal. It's a simple type defining here is. Observe that minimum inclusive value, that is it should not be less than 1900. Maximum inclusive value is not more than 2007. I am specifying a range here. That means the value provided for the year element should not be less than 1900 or should not be more than 2007. And this is a simple type. I will derive this in another complex type. See, the complex type name here is sports car. I am given here is sequence. Similar one that I have given in the previous slide, that is make, model, engine. But here is I am deriving the existing one, that is REF, by using the tag REF, that's attribute REF equals year, and this is the definition taken from this definition, that is existing data type is used in complex type. So for comparison, in C language we studied structure within structures. The similar one also applied here. That means simple data type, user defined simple data type is utilized in complex user defined data type. Validating instance of schemas is the very important one. There are many validators are available. In that one here is XSV, that is XML schema validator, and it's provided by Henry Thompson and Richard Tobin. But nowadays many are available. According to the book, they are giving a one such tool name here is it is available online. That means you have to upload the schema and instance document. That means XML schema document and XML document in the online, that is web. Then by providing the proper URL of those documents we can verify it. So the tool for that file here is provided here is you can verify in the internet. Displaying the XML document is the secondary thing, that not so important. Actually the major thing, a major reason for XML document is describing the data and sharing those such information between different applications. But still we can display the informations provided in XML by using style sheet informations. One here is by using cascaded style sheet, the the file has the style information, and it follows the same principle that we applied for the HTML files. In XML file, all are user defined tags. So in XML, the CSS file, those tag elements are used. For example, AD, year, color, assume that these are used in the XML file, and similar parameters are utilized. So there are no other changes with the HTML CSS declarations. Difference is that in HTML file CSS, predefined tags are utilized, whereas for XML user defined tags are utilized. And for this style sheet must be linked with the, that means a connection with the XML document to CSS style sheet must be done, and for that XML hyphen style sheet element tag is used. Here the example, that is XML style sheet. Type here is text, type equals text bar CSS, and attribute href is used, handle for reference, that is href, whereas in HTML it is different, but in XML it is href equals plains dot CSS. XSLT style sheet, the second method that is used to display the XML documents. Extensible style sheet language creates a family of recommendations for defining the presentation and transformation of XML document. So presentation and transformation means here is it need not be for a web page presentation or user defined presentation. Actually it is converting the information into different type of document. So for example, an XML document will be utilized to create PDF document. So while creating for PDF document, it also requires some presentation and layout information. Such type of informations are provided by XSLT style sheets. So the XSLT, that is extensible style sheet languages, mainly consist of three parameter standards. One is XSLT, that is XSL transformation, XML path language, that is XPath, and XSL formatting object, that is formatting XSLFO. XSLFO is not widely used nowadays, but we will go for the first two in our next coming slides. XSLT style sheets are used to transform XML document into different forms or formats. One common use for XSLT is to transfer XML document into XHTML to documents primarily for display. So If a very complex data is there and to display it as it is, it will be converted into XHTML document. So in that case, XSLT it is used. In the transformation of XML document, the content of element can be moved, modified, sorted, and converted to attribute values, among other things. So the most important, we can have the programming ability to some extent in XSLT. As already told, elements can be moved. That means actual file is not changed. The data while processing it are changed. It can be modified or sorted, etc. And XSLT are again created in XML style. So it can also be validated by using XSV tools. It's a simple functional style programming language, that is overview. It includes functions, parameters, name to which values can be bound. It also contains some selection constructs, conditional expressions for multiple selections. So looping, if condition type of constructions are also available here is. And the syntactic structure of XSLT is XML. XSLT processor is a software module within the XML processor, and many browsers also supports these. So this takes both XML document and XSLT document as input. By looking at the figure, we can understand. Okay, this is XSLT document and the actual XML document. Both are taken and parsed by XSLT processor, which provides XSL document. This is the final result, but actual XSLT document and XML document are not modified. These contents are taken, they are mixed, processed by the XSLT processor and give some textual output to some applications. It may be a PDF file or it may be output to a browser, etc. XSLT document is the program to be executed. XSLT document, it contains some conditions, loops, etc. and also document template. XML document will be the input data to the program. Parts of the XML document are selected, possibly modified, merged with parts of the XSLT documents to form a new document, which is sometimes called as an XSL document. The output of this processing can be stored for future use by application or may be displayed within a browser window. Example is showed. XSLT style sheet can be used to control page layout, including orientation, writing direction, margins, and page numbering. So XSLT includes more than 50 formatting objects or element types and more than 230 properties. So it is a large and very complex tag set. XML document that is to be used as data to XSLT style sheet must include processing instruction. Just like for CSS, observe here is XML style sheet. That means in XML document I have to provide like this style sheet. Type here is text XSL. For CSS it is text bar CSS, but here it is text bar XSL, and href equals XSL style sheet name. The transformation file, this is the template for XSLT document, and here it uses XPath expression. So this is a template, that means utilizes the element or data from XML document and mix with us with this HTML element, that is by using template informations. Here it starts with root element / or also if you don't want to use the actual root element, we can also provide a element from which child elements are considered. So this is the template, just outline of the template. Inside this we will use some tags, that is XSLT tags, that have some programming capabilities. So one here is XSL colon value of, that is value of tag, which is used to extract the value of an element. So outputting value of an element. So for example, value of select equals author. So specifies that the content of the author element in the document. So this is for one such element. If you want to looping through the nodes, then I have the one more, that is for each. So this is used to repeatedly with the for each element. So whenever the complex type, that means if it is a complex type of element, there are child elements, and those child elements are occurred or repeated several times. If I want to process each of them, then I will process this. So syntax here is for each select equals expression, for example for each select equals plain. So I'm giving just a partial code here is for each select equals plain, and here is one value select equals here. Another one here is make, that means for each in plain, in the root element plain, every data from the tag here and make are extracted. Sorting is advanced part. So here provides sort a group of elements. Selection here is expression. You have to provide it the tag, and order here is ascending or descending, and also the type. Sorting numbers and sorting text are different here is, so we have to specify the type here. So for example here for each select in the element ancient wonders, select the subtag wonder. Now specifying select based on the height in descending order, and the data type here is number. And also we can have some conditional properties as a conditional execution. So for each select, that is the element name we are providing here, XSL if, that is if condition, and here is the condition, that is the test equals age greater than 60. If the current row of elements age element has the value greater than 60, then the value of p name is extracted. So these are for the XSLT transformation. So in the exam, these questions will be asked every. So write a note on XSLT transformation. Then you have to write these XSL sort, XSL if, XSL value of, and for each. So it's a very important one. Just go through this all these XSL informations. Okay, students. Here it completes your unit 3, that is introduction to XML. So XML is a very vast one. It has very detailed information, and in your syllabus is just an introduction. So to read it well, I will share the PPT with you in Canvas or any other media. You just go through this. Okay, thank you.